In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your driver's side outer tie rod. Now, just as a disclaimer, you will need an alignment after you replace this part. Let's remove the wheel, take off this cap if you have one, use a pry bar or a screwdriver. Just be gentle not to damage it or the wheel. Set it aside and then use your 22mm socket and remove all 8 of your lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Take a 13mm socket and remove the nut that holds on this locking retainer for the tie rod sleeve. Okay. Get this bolt out. Pull this back or leave it, doesn't matter. I'm just going to get it out of the way here. And then use a 15mm and remove this nut, which secures the tie rod threads onto this adjusting sleeve in the middle. Now at this point you can pull this plastic piece back, and I've been spraying this down with rust penetrant. I'm going to go ahead and spray it again. Let this soak into the threads a little bit. We have to get this cotter pin out of here. It might not come out, but if it does, that would be great. If it doesn't, like this one's pretty rotted. I'm just going to cut it flush, and then we'll have to get this castle nut cover off of here because the nut is actually underneath. So I've been spraying this with rust penetrant, hoping to break it free, but I don't think that's happening. Yeah, this just disintegrated. So I'm going to cut it flush, and we will remove it as is. We'll figure the rest out later. Kind of break it and bend it out of the way. Okay, just clean off the threads a little bit. Give this the best chance it has at coming off. 21mm socket. I'm going to leave this on a few threads so that when I take the tie rod out of here, it doesn't fall down completely. There we go. Grab a hammer, hit the knuckle right here. That's going to break the tie rod free from the knuckle. Take the nut off. These threads are seized in the sleeve. What I want to do is take this retainer out of here. It's just like a little spring ring, so I can get a pry bar, screwdriver, chisel in there, anything, and kind of help spread these two halves apart and allow it to let go of the tie rod. But I can't do that unless I take this out. All this does is just hold the sleeve on here, prevents it from coming off. Okay, I'm going to grab a larger chisel. Just try to spread this apart. And the other side. Count the amount of turns that it takes to take this off. There you have it. Now it's time to put the new tie rod in. I put some anti-seize on the threads over here. What I'm going to do now is slide this locking collar back on. I'm just going to put this locking ring over here for now, just in case I need it to stay off if I have to pull this collar away. And now just put it back the same amount of turns that it took to remove the old one. By the way, I also sprayed anti-seize inside of the tube here, inside of the sleeve where the threads are. Hopefully this will prevent it from getting stuck in the future. Okay, in order to prevent this from falling down continuously, I'm going to go ahead and put this locking collar slash ring back on here. Hopefully that'll hold this in place. There we go. That's better. Okay, so this is about the amount of threads that I had sticking out, or, you know, I counted my turns going in. So at this point, let's go ahead and reconnect this to the knuckle, and then we'll snug this up. That way the tie rod can position itself properly. So grab the tie rod and stick it through the knuckle. Hopefully it lines up. If not, just move the stud until it does line up. There we go. Put the nut on. Bottom it out. 85 foot-pounds is the torque for this. That's it right there. The knuckle moved a little bit, that's fine. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and line up the cotter pin slot to line up with the castle nut. Now I know that I'm supposed to put a little sleeve back on, but I still like to line up the castle nut. A little more. To do that, you always want to tighten, not loosen. Now it lines up. Now you want to just put this little cap on, press it down automatically. Because the castle nut lines up, this will line up as well. Slide the cotter pin through and just bend it over to lock it in. All right, now with this locking sleeve positioned properly, it's lined up, it's all the way out that way, pressed up against this locking collar slash spring retainer here. And then the tie rod locking mechanism here is lined up in the center of this sleeve. Go ahead and tighten this. Technically this has a torque too, and that is 41 foot-pounds, so let's torque it down. That's it right there. All right, let's get the wheel back on. Put on all 8 of your lug nuts, bottom them out, and then we'll torque these in a cross pattern to 165 foot-pounds. And don't forget about this cap.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.